We'll get inside the castle. You'll see. We'll avenge our lads and go back to Rattay with our heads held high. I promise you that.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Audentes fortuna fucking juvat.
You know the trouble with an adventurous life, son? It can end before it gets started.
Welcome back, everybody. I have been putting off playing this game because I don't want to see all the bad things they put in here. And it's annoying to try to play this on a controller, honestly. Okay, what have I got for quests? I've got combat training. I can go see the Tomcat at the gypsy camp. I can find Mutt. And then this is a treasure hunting quest, I think. Oh no. This is different. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is our next like blacksmithing quest. This is the one that is a treasure hunting quest. Which we probably will do this one, especially since it was the pre-order bonus, so I paid for it. Now I kind of wish I didn't, and I was playing the remasters of Tomb Raider instead, but here we are. So we're working with Radovan.
Someone should kick their asses. Really clip those fuckers' wings.
But I guess what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk to the Kumans.
The innkeeper said you wanted some food.
Exactly. We do not want much. Just some bread and something beside. Maybe a bit of sausage.
Do you have money?
We have, and we pay for everything. On my name, not Voshko.
Okay.
Like I'm invisible or something. Can you ask?
Good afternoon.
I spoke to the Cumans. They want some bread and sausage.
Do they have money?
No, they say they do. They promised to pay for everything.
Well, all right. I'll believe them. The food is in the tavern pantry. But don't you dare take anything else, you hear?
Alrighty. Is this the right spot, or? Because that's just mugs and jugs. This is not the pantry, but there is bread and sausage. That'll be good enough. Thank you for the bread. Thank you for the sausage. Now, they are Kumans, so if they, if we met in any other context, I'd probably be gleefully killing them. But, you know, we're gonna be a good Christian and treat them with kindness. For we are not currently at war at this very moment.
Here you go.
Thank you. I afraid we leave. Ahesh. Without food.
Gorva, why are you even talking to them? They can go to hell.
How come you speak our language so well?
From mother. It is long, Tartine. Story. Maybe I tell another time. Now we just want to eat.
What were you thinking coming here? Cumans don't exactly have the best reputation around here.
We don't want trouble. We just hungry.
We just
had
want
enough
hungry.
Ate back at camp. We just want to eat something good for Jay.
What? Ugh. No.
The locals don't want you here, and neither do I. The less Cumans I meet in my lifetime, the better.
Not all humans sing. But what you say? We eat and we go.
finish eating and go back to where you came from. You've no business being here.
Take it easy, friend. We do nothing to you.
No, not you personally, but I've dealt with humans before. You're all the same.
Elob tuj, ostan ite. Do not judge a book by its cover.
You should get the fuck out of here. You hear me, you Hungarian pork sausage?
No.
You should really get going.
My thoughts exactly. Get lost.
Easy, friend.
Do some.
This could
I've had
easily
enough.
turn into a fight,
Get off
and we
your
don't
dirty
want that.
asses and piss off to wherever you came from.
Just relax. Everything be all right.
Do I make myself clear, you cunt? Out, now!
Help har medjing för lautum.
All right, we go.
Peter! What did you just say? Fuck that shit! Hey, where do you think you're going? Did you really just spit on me, you scum?
He not mean it. He go too far.
And who's gonna pay?
We no eat anything. You take food back.
So our food ain't the gentleman's taste, eh? Maybe they'd rather wear it on their heads instead. Will you help us kick these pigs out of here?
Leave them alone.
You're defending those horse fuckers. Birds of a feather, eh?
You don't even know who they are.
You think I don't? They're fucking humans. They burn and pillage every village they come across, and you're standing up for them. You fucking traitor.
I have killed enough humans to... Hey.
Show what you're made of.
I always get in a fist fight at this tavern. Never coming back.
We're gonna get you, you arson.
Owie! Bastard! Stop that. I didn't want to align with anybody. I just wanted everybody to not punch each other.
Tell them to fuck off, the pricks.
They are,
have no
okay? They're
business here.
leaving. Why are
What you
why are you making them stay?
You had enough.
Shut up. You really fucked up this time. You're a damn traitor. Now those fuckers will come back at night and slit our throats in our sleep.
You shouldn't
dare
have
you.
antagonized
I'm on
them.
the side of King Wenceslas.
If you're one of us, prove it. Take care of those Cuban pigs and things will be settled between us.
What do you mean, take care?
What do you think? Just make sure they never come back here again.
Don't you think you're going too far?
Either you're with us or you're against us. Your choice. Seems they came from Samin. Try asking there. Someone must have noticed that rabble.
Oh, Christ! That stinks! At least it stopped the bleeding. That hurt.
Did they go away? Oh, yep, they left. Alrighty.
Well, from what I hear, Lord Semming's pretty much dead broke.
Just a moment.
So, got a person of interest tipster. This is the Mutt quest. That's okay. And Samin is where we need to really go. I think we're probably gonna do the Hermit quest. Hearing the things I've heard, I am not excited a ton about this game anymore. It kind of feels like Warhorse sold out, which is sad. Because last time they were pretty based. You know, they earned the success of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 by not caving to the culture war bullshit. You know, this is 1403 in the Holy Roman Empire, right? This is Middle Europe in the 1400s, so people complaining about there not being black people in the first game, it's like, yeah, there wouldn't be. And when people push back on that, he said, "This is my history. Don't try to tell me my history. This is my history, right?" This time, not so much. Not so much. One of the things that appears later in the game, which I forget if I talked about last session, is crusaders, European crusaders, being but they're anti-Semitic and they're going to kill all these Jews. So a Muslim from the Empire of Mali gets you to help save them, and it's just like, that's completely ahistorical. There were anti-Semitic killings by crusaders, but they were, from what I can tell, and this is just doing research, so I'm not sure exactly sources and that sort of thing. So, because the hardest part about studying this kind of history is it's highly politicized, right? Basically, the narrative is Christians bad, poor Muslims, in a lot of ways. The noble Muslims like Saladin, and that's just frankly not true. There was a lot of barbarism on both sides, and and you can tell that from Islam today, right? Islam today has a lot of barbarism in it, a lot of extremism, and think about it when you're in a straight up holy war, when you're in an actual hot jihad, not the Oh, you're a wolf. I hear wolves. I don't like this. But yeah, it's not exactly the easiest thing to parse, because I'm not quite certain that all of the historical references are incredibly well brought together, right? I'm not sure about bias and things like that, but there were anti-Semitic killings. Especially in the First Crusade, there was a lot of there was a specific incident that I found where the Crusaders, and this was just common people, so these were just people that were around, had decided to go on crusade, and as they went down, I believe it was the Rhine actually, so it would have been this area. Oh, that's probably worth some money. They killed some Jews that they found along the river, and it's probably not the Rhine actually, but it was a river in Europe that they were traveling down, and as they traveled down, they found that they killed some Jews that they found. So there is a history of that, but the Muslims protecting them is not exactly how that goes. Because the Muslims and the Jews and the Christians all have a very... Oh, am I already there? No, I'm close, okay. The Muslims, the Jews, and the Christians, anybody who isn't well versed in all three of those religions, they have a beef. Basically, the Muslims say that that both of the other religions are fakers, literally that they're propaganda, and that they're blasphemers and should be killed. And that's what the other religions say about Muslims as well, is that they're blasphemers. Now, Christianity doesn't necessarily say that they should be killed, but the Crusades were originally started as a defense of pilgrims going to the Holy Land, right? Beyond, you know, just the regular, you know, these are kind of chewed on. Maybe there's something that eats them nearby. That would be an interesting mechanic. There's a, I lost my train of thought. The Crusades were originally started as a retaliatory military action by the Catholic Church to protect pilgrims on the way to the Holy Land, right? That was the original start. And then it kind of ballooned to taking back the Holy Land from Muslims. And Judaism didn't really get involved in any real way. I believe that there were Jews that lived in Muslim-conquered Israel, right? So I do think that there were Jews that lived in the Holy Land, but I don't think that they, like, Judaism as a religion doesn't... That's not what I meant. I want to jump. Let me jump. Okay, it's B. Okay, so I can go up into these woods. There's a well. There's a well. If there's a well, he's got to be close. Right? So, yeah, it's just not exactly cut and dried, but because there were Jews that lived in Europe as well, right? And you can see historical references where Jews were ostracized in both societies. They were seen as very other. They were seen as very separate from... See, this is a spring. I wouldn't really call this a well. But this is fresh water, so he's going to be close to this. If it were me, I would hide among these rocks. I would try to find somewhere that wouldn't be nakedly obvious, but close to a source of water and probably close to a source of food. Something that could be depended upon. So not like, oh, there's a herd of deer that is normally in this area. You know, something that is a little more stable. But then you can't, if you're going to be a hermit out here and you don't want people to find you, which is assumedly what this guy wants, you can't be seen to be like farming, because that'll take up enough land and leave enough of a mark that people will know that you're there. They will realize, hey, there's a people here. Well, that's a cliff. That's a thatched roof right there. Found him. That didn't take too long. Remember stumbling around the woods looking for shit in the first game? Now I just gotta remember how to get there. I think it's gonna be a right up here. Or not. That is a rock. That is a horse. Is that Pebbles? No, I already have... Right, it is Pebbles because I called you. I forgot that I had you. Because I bought her back. I think I was up there. I think the thatched roof I saw was this rock. I am now no longer certain. But yeah, it's an interesting subject. I did a little research on the Empire of Mali, which I hadn't actually researched. Honestly don't know a ton about the African kingdoms, but there were several. There were empires after Egypt in Africa. Because Egypt kind of fell by the wayside, basically around the time of the Persians, I think. Maybe it was the Babylonians that took them first. But, that whole region has changed hands, hundreds of times almost at this point. Because a lot of it was held by Britain in the 40s. There's a lot of changing of hands. The original, well, not the original name for Palestine, but the naming the region Palestine, I believe, was a Roman thing. And then the British kind of kept it up from there. But that would have been after, a long time, obviously, because it didn't transfer from the Romans to the British, right? It would have gone to Britain during their height, which would have been close to this time, actually. Like the 1600s, and then they sort of start falling off at the end of the 1700s, especially with the American Revolution, and then they start giving their colonies back. South Africa secedes, India secedes, they all become their own thing. They even gave Hong Kong back to China, which is a bad move, because now Hong Kong is getting oppression and all kinds of stuff, and that's one of the things that I didn't like during Trump's last presidency. I wasn't a big fan of how we didn't do anything for Hong Kong, even in just words. We barely acknowledged that they were getting their liberties trampled upon, right? By our largest state rival, China. And I think that America does need to come to their aid. I'm not saying that we invade China because they're fucking with Hong Kong, especially since they are technically in their jurisdiction. It's their land. They're Chinese. But it's not the kind of thing where you can just leave. That's one of the problems when your freedoms get stomped on, is it's hard to just kind of leave. Good lord, where is this stupid house? It's gonna be far back from the road, so we're not gonna find him down there probably. And it's pretty wide open, so we can kind of just look and see that he's not there. It's probably going to be up in these rocks. Of course, then you can't really build a firm foundation on these rocks because you basically have like a 1/4 inch of dirt and then it's a rock underneath. But you will have a stone floor, which does mean that things are going to be a little more stable for you. But basically you have to set it up like a tent because you can't sink your foundation, right? Hooray! Because usually the way that they would build things in this era is you would, whatever posts you use for your house, you would sink into the ground so that your house would be a little more permanent, right? If you have a 1/4 inch of dirt over stone, you can't do that. Spoke a little bit too soon about stumbling around the woods, going, oh yeah, this was easier. Hello? But yeah, Mali was an empire in basically modern day Mali. Like they basically had the area that the country is today. They had a little bit less. They have a little bit less now than they did. Hey, here we are. I was right about that thatched roof. Look at this. Hello, friend.
Get out before you come to a bad end!
No, I'd like to talk.
Radovan, the blacksmith from Takov, sent me.
And what's that got to do with me? Clear off! Equam memento rebus in arduis avarimentum.
So you're a monk.
Haven't you got anything better to do? Clear off before I lose my patience.
Okay. I'm clearing.
You've no business here, fella.
I found your shit pile. All right. What are we supposed to do here? Radovan the blacksmith wants me to bring him the hermit's sword so that he has a high quality steel to complete the wedding order for Lord Samine, where it has it that the hermit once fought against the heathens. It has a sword. Pardon me. From the faraway Andalusia. Unfortunately, it was broken long ago, but we surely won't find any better steel to forge a new sword. It's said that Ambrose the hermit recently sold his soul to the devil. I ought to find out if there's any truth behind the stories before I go and see him. It could help me get his broken sword. The hermit lives in a small hovel in the rocks. The innkeeper warned me that the hermit sold his soul to the devil. I should find the... What? Question the witnesses. But how? What witnesses? How do you witness such a thing? That's as far as I can zoom in. Okay, let's add a checkpoint there. It should be a marker, but they said checkpoint, so... Ow. All right, Pebbles.
It's closed.